Hi folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the newspaper strips and some Marvel comics in one video. And I decided to do this because both of these are fairly short, particularly the newspaper strips. Like when I was doing my notes, I only got like half of a page of notes, and it's like, I don't want to do just that. So decided to do a little bit more here. So the first thing that you would talk about, again, going in publication order, is Deadly Reunion, and it's in the newspaper strips, and you can find it in this trade right here, Classic Star Wars, technically Volume 1. And this came out in 1982 of November. November 2nd, 1981 through February of 1982 to be exact. And so basically what it is, it's in a Luke and Tanith are going back to the Rebels, and but they go to the planet Cabal to meet back up with the Rebels, that are there. And when they get there, Leia and all of them are dealing with an Imperial strike that's taking place, and someone has betrayed them. Who could it be, right? Oh no, you'll have to find out. There's a doctor named Dr. Arcus, and he's found, and he's an Imperial weapons expert. And basically, he's dying, and his last will is to kill as many rebels as he can. It's a very quick story, very quick, and does not take much to read, and it doesn't add much to the lore at all. So is it an essential read? The question that we ask, right? No, it's not. It's just something, that's there. It's not a bad story. It's just sort of there, and you can take it or leave it. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. There's nothing to it. So, Deadly Reunion, your call. Now let's jump back over to Marvel. This was in 1981 to 1982. This was December of 81 to January of 82. That's why I'm talking about Serpent Masters first, because it technically came out a month before. So, first one is issue 58. Right here, and issue 59. Right there. Now, these stories, it's one story, but it's in two issues, and these two issues technically happen at the same time, timeline-wise. So, it's a little odd. So, Luke, Lando, and Chewie are going to the planet called Bizarre. Bizzare. I know. It's a little bizarre. To basically buy 4 TIE fighters. And these TIE fighters are kind of unique. They are, they're more of an upgraded version of TIE fighters. And so it just from there, like they're doing that, and then it just follows the people on Arbra. It's kind of some weird science here. But the Rebellion has devices that make this thing called a pyramid shield. And they put their ships in these energy fields. And so it works well, but R2-D2 and C-3PO get stuck on this ship, so they end up having to save the day from this chaos that could happen. It's not bad to see the droids as heroes. It's kind of cool to see that. So anyways, the other big thing about this series, and by the way, this is also still in our Screams in the Void a long time ago, volume 4 trade paperback here. Another thing about this is Shira Bree. I mean, I raved about her before, right? And but this story does a great job at continuing to build her up, continuing to make her into a grander character. And again, it just creating that that lore behind her. And in fact, there's, it's kind of also building up a little bit of a romance here. For example, right here, she says, hey, if you want, I'd be more than happy to go after Luke, and offer to take his place. And Leia's like, thank you, but that will not be necessary. Commander Skywalker's project is as vital as this one, and he's needed there. Though I'm sure you'd enjoy making your offer to him personally. Indeed, Princess, almost as much as Luke would. Bye. And then C-3PO's like, oh, isn't it nice for her to do that? And Leia's like, yes, isn't she? She's very kind. So she's talking to Leia right here. and doing all that. So again, it's just kind of building that up. And so then eventually it jumps to Luke and the gang in the next issue. So they are led into a trap. Shocker, right? Picking up these TIE fighters, and what happens? You'll have to read to find out. But again, it's also building up the TIE fighters because they are also, seen more in the next issue. So I will give you a fair warning that understand that, hey, next time we talk about these series, we're going to be talking about those TIEs. So if you don't care about spoilers, we'll see you in the next episode, I guess. But if you do, you might want to get your hands on this somehow, or just ignore the next video. I hate to say that, but I feel so bad if I'm spoiling this for you. But anyways, here's some things I do want to talk about this. Marvel used some real world terms when writing this. For example, I think there was I can't remember if it was in this or maybe it was in another source. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I know at one point I think Luke is like, "What's a duck?" Like the word duck, is used like as the animal. But anyways, Marvel, just to give you an actual example, I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. Like, it actually happened in here. Luke says there's a creature that's named Caesar, okay, after Julius Caesar. And Luke says, "We didn't come to feed Caesar, we came to bury him." It's like, are you like that's Julius Caesar by Shakespeare, right? And you're like, how does Luke know Shakespeare? And it's kind of funny because at some point, like Lando and everybody's like, huh? And Luke's like, whatever. But again, it's like, you're like, this is supposed to be a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I know Shakespeare was a long time ago when he did that, but Star Wars, I mean, it's in another galaxy too. So if, God forbid, Star Wars and Shakespeare happened at the same time, there's no way Luke would know that. So again, it's a little weird, like reading Star Wars, and Luke is busting out Shakespeare references, and it's like, what the heck are you doing, my friend? So I'm just trying to see if I can find it real quick, but I don't want to waste time. Anyways, folks, that essential, are these two issues in here? Are they essential? No, maybe for Marvel readers, because again, we're building up the TIE fighters for a later story. We're also building up more of Shira Bree. But, maybe not really for modern readers. Even more so for, with the whole Shira stuff in here. I don't even know if it's too essential for that. But ultimately, I mean, it's your call. If you want to read this or not. But for Marvel readers, I'd say maybe. For modern readers, you could probably skip this. So anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time with another episode of the Star Wars Library.